Testified on Capitol Hill. You have another expert saying that the Healthcare.gov security risks were even worse after the so-called fix. We also have a Washington Post story that 1/3 of Obamacare signups have errors. People think they've signed up, that they have care, and they don't. And no wonder we found out that the White House, Obama himself, is not signed up. How could he? It's impossible. And an analysis by the LA Times shows that for Congress, their health care plan is still a notch above the rest of us, mere mortals, citizens that pay their salaries. So their only hope now, as Bloomberg points out today, is to stay alive until 2015. Anyway, if you remember, we had Luke Chung on right after the October launch of the website, president of FMS Inc., also with us, the person I just cited, David Kennedy, is the CEO of an online security company, Trusted SAC, and both have now testified on Capitol Hill. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. Luke, welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me again, John.
Unbelievable. So is the security really worse? David, let me bring you in here. Now, everything that I've read about you is pretty fascinating. You go into websites and you hack into them to see if they're secure or not?
That's right. So the way that our company works is we actually work for large organizations. They hire us to simulate hackers. So we actually break into websites, and that's our whole profession. Is breaking into corporations, companies, and stealing things, but obviously authorized and having permission to do so. And with the website, with Healthcare.gov, we didn't actually hack the site. We just looked at it from a 10,000-foot view, and there's things that we can do, and we can profile on how we can look at the website, determine how well it was actually designed from a security perspective. And what we found was extremely alarming. The ability to send links to people as soon as they click, it would actually hack their own computer, the ability to extract personal information off of the site. And all of those were abundant in the October 1st release. And none of the issues that we identified and reported have been fixed since the the November 30th release. So they're still there, and there's still a lot of security concerns around the privacy and information that you put in the site.
So in other words, if you are going to give advice to somebody that wanted to know whatever information they put on healthcare.gov is going to be safe and secure, what's your answer to them?
I would say stay away from it until we can get more details on what they're going to actually do to address the security concerns. The problem that we see here is fundamental problems of how they built it. So when you build a website and you're a coder that actually sits there and programs the lines of code and things like that, there's certain things you adhere to around security to ensure that the information is protected, that you follow best practices in the security industry to protect that type of information. And on top of that, you do regular security testing to ensure that these things are addressed. And what we identified and what we found is that even the basic things that you would typically find remediated or addressed in the very early stages of an application development process weren't even addressed. So I would say stay away from it until we can get more information on what they're doing to protect the security around the site, but it does not appear to be secure right now.
So, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most secure, 1 being the least secure, how would you rate this website compared to other websites?
Well, from what we can see in the private sector, I mean, there's a varying degree of good security practices. Some companies don't, invest in anything in security, and they're, a 1 out of a 10. But most of the private sectors try to do a reasonable job in protecting information, especially.
Well, let me backtrack. What would Amazon be?
Amazon would probably be a 10 out of all of the issues. Amazon hasn't been hacked, or they haven't had any issues around personal information. So Amazon would be a 10. All
right. So Amazon's a 10. What would be a 1?
Healthcare.gov would probably be a 1 or 2.
This is unfathomable to me, what you're saying. So they're a 1 or a 2. That means any personal information, anybody here's the president of the United States of America telling Americans to go to this website that it's fixed and it's safe, and you're telling me it's not.
Well, from everything that we can see, and here's the thing, we identified all these without actually hacking the website. We're not authorized to hack the website, but there's, what we call passive reconnaissance that we can do to look at how the website's developed. So if we're just covering these issues on the surface from not even being able to touch the website, the things below it are significantly worse and more egregious, and that's something to be really concerned with. If we're finding these things without even touching the website or even hacking in any way, shape, or form, what really lies underneath is the real concerning part.